Wonderful good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Commodity TV today out of our studios in Munich, and with me here is James Robertson, the CEO of Blackheath Resources. You remember we have been 6 weeks ago roughly there in Portugal for a site visit and visit those lovely tungsten and tin properties. Jim, thank you very much for taking the time.
Well, thank you, Joachim. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure for us also. Let's get directly into your company. I said already you are tungsten and tin. You bought, I think, 5 old mines in Portugal. What's the status today? I think you are in the midst of a financing.
We are just about closed now on the financing. We have raised additional funds. It was an oversubscribed private placement of
That's not usual in those times.
Well, no, it's not easy, that's for sure, but we were very fortunate. We've been very well supported. We had interest both from Europe and also from Canada and also from China and Hong Kong.
Oh, interesting. Well, the Chinese control anyway, I think 85% of the tungsten market. So they want to take over the control in Europe now too?
Well, I think that the Chinese certainly have a lot of tungsten in the ground, and they use a lot of tungsten, and they certainly are interested in tungsten around the world, and of course they're looking for commodities everywhere anyway. And yes, the Chinese have invested in our company, an investment company actually, Shandong Donglin, which has put money into us and indicates that they wish to support us as we move forward, which is great.
Interesting. Who are your other large shareholders? I think management is a large shareholder also?
Yeah, management owns about 25% of the shares of the company. Yeah. We bought and paid for all of those shares. We have an investor from Mexico, who owns about 9.9% of the company, Ernesto Echeverria. And also we have a Hong Kong fund that has a significant portion. So we're fairly well distributed. We have funds in Europe as well that have positions in the company. So yeah, we're diversified.
Great. So now let's talk about what you're going to do with the money. Well, when I was there at the site visit, I saw already a drill turning at, I think that was Covas where we have been. No, sorry, that was Boralia. Yeah, Boralia was the drill. And so what is going on there? How many more drills do you want to do? How many meters do you want to drill with that money?
Well, we're putting in at Boralia, we're planning an initial program of 8 drill holes, relatively shallow drill holes, but they will take some weeks to complete. And that will be testing our breccia zone for extent and grade. And that breccia is very large. I think we talked before, it's probably 25 to 30 million tons. That sort of size anyway. And we're drilling to establish the grade. That would be surface mining, open pit. Funds will be used for Covas. We're now planning an additional drilling program at Covas, and that will start probably next month in July. With those results, we will evaluate them, assess them, determine whether we need to do additional drilling. And our objective, all being well, is to come up with 2 National Instrument 43-101 resource estimates by the end of the year.
End of the year. Okay, wow, that's lovely. So this, will confirm what you have then, hopefully, that's for sure. Well, anyway, you are exploring for tungsten. Tungsten is used for a wide variety of makings. It's fire resistant. It's for hardening steel, whatever. For drills. Who are the major players in the world? Who might be interested to work with you in the future? I'm not saying that we are not talking about joint ventures or whatever, but give us and our viewers an idea who would use your tungsten, who might have an interest in you.
Well, certainly we like to attract interest in our company for many reasons. But the sort of people that would be interested in perhaps in working with us, in joint venturing with us, in funding us, that are more industry related, would be perhaps some of the trading groups, companies such as Wogan or their associates, people who recognize the value of tungsten and trade it as a commodity to other end users. Some of the end users themselves, perhaps. We have companies like Sandvik, Swedish company, that uses a lot of tungsten.
I think they run the Mittersill mine in Austria,
correct, right? So Sandvik, HC Stark here in Germany, a company in the US, Global Tungsten and Powders. Those sorts of companies. They're very, very large, very focused on specialty materials.
So yeah, of course, for especially for HC Stark, it must be a beautiful situation to maybe have a future tungsten producer on their front door in Portugal, because it's Europe, you know.
Yeah. Well, certainly they use a lot of tungsten. They have a continuing demand. They recycle a lot of tungsten, or use a lot of recycled tungsten. And something like Portuguese tungsten producer would be obviously of interest to a European user.
Okay, so you said, well, the drills are now turning. You want to have the 43101 by end of the year. What is the plan for 2015? Do you have any way, well, you have already planned something, I'm for sure.
Well, we obviously have alternatives to plan for. Obviously what comes out of our drilling this year and our 43101 estimate and the size and the grades of the estimate, whether we continue with further drilling on those projects, whether we at that time select one of those projects perhaps, because we can't do everything at once, but one of those projects perhaps for moving forward for preliminary economic assessment. And
but it means maybe bringing one into production then?
Well, we're certainly looking for that in the long-term direction, and hopefully not too long-term. I think, you know, with wind at our back and things working well, I mean, Kovas is a potential producer that probably could be set up for maybe $75–80 million, something of that order. Boralio would be more expensive because it's a larger open pit. And then, of course, we have the other projects behind those as well in the pipeline.
Wow, fantastic. We wish you all the best for that, and we look forward to hear soon good drill news, hopefully, from you.
Well, we certainly hope so.
Great.
Thank you, Jochen.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jim Robertson, the CEO of Blackheath Resources. Well, you heard it. The drills are turning. We expect, hopefully in the next 4 to 8 weeks, the first drill results. Maybe it takes a bit longer at summertime. And we have the football championship. So everybody's watching football and not analyzing labs and essays probably. And you heard it, 43101 by the end of the year. And that's what I love to hear. Probably to bring one property into production within the next, 2, 3, 4 years. So have a look at the company, check it out. Thanks, and bye-bye from Munich.